Right, so I'm going to tie a pulling hopper now because I've decided I want to. So this is actually a fly I would use in between two flops, two boobies. I've used it quite a lot when pulling. I see it as sort of a bonus fly. It's just a good middle dropper. So basically it's like a claret hopper that you tie using a dry. It's just on a 175 with a hen hackle, so it's a bit softer. It just works well on the hang. So 10s or 12s. As I'm tying sort of big flies, I've just brought me sort of 10, so this is going to be a 10. Gone in, this is Glow Bright 4, so it's going to have a little hot tag. So I'll just run, easiest way of doing the hot tag is run the thread down, round the bend, and then what I'll do is I'll just put my normal thread over the top of it. So round the bend with this, couple more wraps over there, and then just a whip finish. Yeah. Well, I'll just have to go to my snakes have a right issue finding a box for them. So bit of varnish on this just to protect the little tag. That can just soak in while I change my thread. So I'm going to go with red thread. Lee did really well actually with that sparkler on the top dropper in a comp once, this in the middle, and then a orange daddy on the point. Bit of an odd cast, but he does do that. So red thread on, just over the top of the Glow Bright 4. We got there. Just going to trim that bit of red that I've left there. The whip finish. So the rib for this is Pearl Mirage medium again. If I was doing a 12, I'd just do sort of 2 or 3 turns. Might get, I should get 4 in on this. So just tie this in my side. Just catch it in there. So the dubbing is a Claret Seals Fur. This is medium Claret from Rob Denson. I tend to find his Seals Fur is really good quality. So just dub it on. Doesn't need to be too thick because I'm going to put a bit more over the, just once I've tied the legs and before I put the hackle in, there's a bit of a thorax. So you don't need too much on the body because you're going to rib it with the Mirage anyway. So what I should do there, that little bit, just sweep it back. And then coming in with the Mirage coming towards me. Four turns of that, and then one there. Okay. And there's that. So legs. They're in here somewhere. There we are. So these are just a dyed Claret hopper leg. So one about sort of 6 really. So just pull those off, and then what I'm going to do, because it's a pulling hopper, I'm just going to try and get them so all the legs are going to point down like that. Turn the vice upside down.
So if it was a dry hopper, where would you put the legs?
On the top. Loose wrap. There we go. Quite happy with them, where they're sat. This one's come a bit on the top. Pumps that there. There we go. So you can see they're all underneath, looking quite sort of buggy. So now what I'm going to do is just do some loose dubbing of some more seals fur just over where that is, and I'm going to brush that, hold the legs and just go over that, tighten it up a little bit, just again make it a bit more leggy and buggy. And then in with my hackle. So this is a whiting hen hackle from Lakeland, so it's dyed. It's a lovely colour. It's actually that nice, I can hardly warrant tying with it a lot of the time. As it's a 10, sort of decent sized hackle, barbs about the length of the shank, which that is. Strip away some of the flue. Tie it on there. Just work towards the eye, tying that little bit of tip that I've left as well. Hackle pliers, so you can see what I'm doing. So, as I'm going, just sweeping the fibres back. Right up towards the eye. One turn, fold everything back, sweep all the hackle fibres back and just work your way back, making sure you catch them all in, folding everything back nicely, and then you should be able to just break that off. There we go. And there we are. So that's a hopper that I'd use in the middle of some blobs or some boobies, just pulling. Like I say, with the legs tied underneath, it makes a bit more of a pulling hopper. If I was going to tie it as a dry, I'd make sure I put 3 on either side so they were sitting down so the legs like traipse in the water. You can tie them like that. Gareth Jones from Airflow tends to tie his hoppers like that, and they do work quite well. There you go, I feel I've redeemed myself from my snake tying now. After all that awfulness.
No, snake charmer.
So that's about, yeah.